This is Screen Junkies Movie Fights, brought to you by Dollar Shave Club. Now your host, Andy Signore.
Greetings, Screen Junkies, and welcome to an insane episode of Movie Fights. What's going on over here? This feels weird. We'll explain why in 1 second, but before we do, I wanted to let you know we have some amazing fights today. Jurassic World, the new trailer dropped. We're going to be pitching the ultimate Batman-Superman movie because you know we're all DC haters. We'll get to that, I imagine. As well as what do we think of the Fantastic Four trailer? So many fun, exciting things. And at the end, we will have a tease for this week's Honest Trailer, the final battle. So get excited for that. Before we get started and explain what's happening here, I do want to say some amazing words for our sponsor. We'd like to thank our sponsor, Dollar Shave Club. DollarShaveClub.com delivers great razors and grooming supplies to your door for just a couple of bucks. It's super easy, and once you get started, you never have to worry about buying razors again. It's true. They give them to you all the time, and you get to just keep doing it. New blades all the time. Even a luscious beard like mine needs some maintenance, and Dollar Shave Club is a fantastic way to make sure you look great while arguing about movies on the internet like we do. Right, guys?
Yeah.
Yes. Sure. So please, no, for real, we love Dollar Shave Club. Please support them and click the annotation or the link in the description below on YouTube to shave time and shave money. Thanks to Dollar Shave Club. Thank you guys so much. And quickly, also, our T-shirts. We still have T-shirts for sale in our T-shirt store, so check them out. Some cool new designs. I'm wearing a nice new one. And they aren't, but yeah. I am, and it looks good. As always, remember, if you don't like a fight we're fighting about, on the bottom right-hand corner, bottom left-hand, it is the right-hand corner. I'm seeing the monitor again.
Viewer right.
Viewer right-hand corner, you can pick your fight. There it is, and decide, you know what, I don't want to see this one. I'm going to click on the next one. So fantastic stuff. And finally, iTunes. Don't forget we are on iTunes. There's a new feed. Yes. So please, if you've never tried it out, or you did already, or you're listening right now, go rate and subscribe us and thank us so we can keep that going strong. And it's like, you know what, I like this. I'm going to take the time to go do that thing because they told me to, and that means you're a true fan and we love you. Now, all that said, you're wondering, why am I in this seat instead of over there? If you're a crazy person who watches the show all the time and is like, why is he over there? It's because it was Nick Mundy's birthday yesterday. Yeah, and I heard you've always wanted to host this show. Is that true, Nick?
I have. I've wanted the power you wield and throw around like Whiff. So,
well, I always wanted to take a battle onto this champion, and so we thought, why not we both get something out of it? Nick Mundy is hosting today!
Welcome to Monday Night Raw, everyone. This is going to be fun. Now, hey, a couple of things to take care of. First off, let's check out this badass fan art from James Nielsen. Right?
That is badass.
I like that.
That is pretty good.
I'm Frodo.
Wow.
Yeah, that makes sense. You're Frodo. You have a weak heart like Frodo. You have a weak heart, like a Frodo weak heart. I'm your Sam. Am I not Sam? Two things. I have a black eye for some reason. I don't know why.
You're going to have another by the end of the episode.
These three did not coward punch me, but I have a black eye for some reason, so we'll discuss that in the comments. And three, before you think I'm going to be like biased against anyone, I'm not. I have personal grudges against all three of you.
You do?
Yeah. You do, yes.
I have. So
that's why we thought this would be a fair matchup.
Yeah, because I dislike.
Who do you hate the least?
I don't know. We'll find out in movie fights. So why don't we introduce the people I dislike the most? Hit it.
Today's fighters are Roger Barr, founder of i-mockery, 1 win, 5 losses.
Only 1 blemish on my record.
Andy Signore, creator of Honest Trailers,
I don't like that
0 wins,
I don't like that
1
headshot.
loss.
Either.
Dan Murrell, undefeated movie fights champion.
That's going to change.
7 wins.
Totally gonna have to change.
We should explain the belt's not on the line.
The belt.
People that are wondering.
Yes, is it? It's
Yeah.
why I was
The
gonna
belt's
ask.
not on the line because Nick's hosting. I don't want to host a belt.
No,
Yeah.
we've decided to put the belt away for a while, right?
I got your back, Dan.
Yeah.
Yes, we
Okay.
all decided the belt's not on the line today. We didn't ask him to put the belt on the line. This is a fun, fair fight.
Hashtag Girl of Thrones.
So Roger, be a team player.
Yeah, no. I've been looking forward to battling Dan for a long time. We've talked about this for a long time. I just can't believe that it is now happening with Nick Mundy hosting.
Yeah.
It's like, what nightmare am I in? Where's Freddy Krueger?
The
When's he
sword
going to
of
pop out?
Damocles will
Where is
soon
he?
fall. And let's not forget the Dan Cam like Andy did last week. Sitting on Dan Cam is Jason Inman.
Hey guys, I am very excited because I have a special guest sitting right here, deep from the heart of Texas.
It's my dad, Dennis Mundy, on Dad Cam.
Welcome.
Thank you. He's
In
also.
the heart of Texas.
Will you please update us throughout if Nick's doing a good job or not?
No. He's here to make sure I don't become full of hubris and make an ass of myself.
He gave you that black eye, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. I think my cat did. All right, so you guys ready to party?
Yeah, for iTunes' sake, can you introduce us all?
Okay,
just
yeah,
real
for
quick,
iTunes.
'cause some people listen and didn't see that intro.
Yes.
But they heard it.
To my left, we have the
But they need
cerebral.
to hear our voices.
For the left, we have the cerebral assassin, editor and director of Screen Junkies, Honest Trailers, Dan Murrell.
Hi, how's it going? I'm just so curious to see how this turns out.
And then we have a big, tall weirdo with long hair and founder of i-mockery, Roger Barr.
I cannot wait to murder all of you. And Nick, even though you're
Down
the
a
host,
point. Down a
I'm
point.
still going to give you a black eye by the end of the episode. I promise you.
Fair
No
enough.
matter what happens.
You have
no
a
matter how
champion's
the
heart.
judging goes.
You have a champion's heart.
Yeah.
And then we got the big boss man, the guy who gives me money, Andy
Nick?
Signore.
I'm excited. I hope you will be fair. I'm not asking. I did not tell you to make me win because I could do that, but no, you better be fair. But I want to tell you all I have a secret weapon. Jarvis, please bring it in, Jarvis.
Oh my damn
God. It's a huge sword.
Oh, thank you, Jarvis. Nick Mundy's dad. Look at this. I have my own little Iron Man sword here. So if anybody gives me any crap,
Can I start judging now?
You don't have anything to worry
That's
about.
disconcerting.
Whoo! I'm ready to fight, guys. Thanks to the folks at Man at Arms, Matt, Carrie, Stagmer. You guys are the best. If you guys watch that show, we do that show too. But anyway,
It's
look,
fantastic.
Are you going to wield that for the entire
I
show?
want him to because I
might.
want to see him get exhausted.
Exactly.
I might build this. I just keep it. It's
This
very,
isn't fair. I tried to
very
bring
heavy.
ninja stars to the
I
championship
almost
fight,
just
and you
broke
said
that
I couldn't.
Yeah, this
All
is
right.
going to work out really well. This episode is already going.
All right, you know what?
There's a sword. There's a sword behind you. Be careful. Okay.
Can we do this thing?
we gonna fight
Can we
today?
fight? Let's fight. Monday, fight.
Now let's do this!
This is where we fight!
Fight!
All right. In the barrage of trailers that came out last week, a new Fantastic Four trailer came out. A longer one came out. So Odd Khan asked, which is a normal name, based on the Fantastic Four trailer, the new one, should we go see this movie? And I'm going to change things up because that's how things roll, and he wants to go first. Andy, why don't you go first?
Okay, I'm going to go first. No, I'm not excited for this movie, and I don't think we need to see this movie. And you know why we don't need to see this movie? Because this movie's a mess. But do we all know why this movie got made? This movie only got made so Fox could save the rights to the Fantastic Four. This was not like, we have a great idea for the Fantastic Four. We're going to make an awesome new gritty reboot. No, this was a cash grab rush job to get a movie made, and I do not support that anymore. And we have superhero fatigue. I'm done with it. I don't think this movie looks that good. It looks like we've seen it a billion times. I'm ready to fight more points, but no, the answer is no.
A valiant start. All right, I like that. Dan.
I'm very strongly on record against this movie. I've said that it looks like a disaster. I've said that it's, basically all of your arguments I've said. But I've got to say, based on this trailer, this is the first thing I've seen from this movie that actually made me go, okay, this might actually be a good movie. You got a little bit of the interaction between the characters. You got a bit of a taste about what their dynamic is going to be like. I kind of like the new origin story. I think it's a little more believable than cosmic rays going into space. And, I know that it's just a trailer. Green Lantern had a great trailer. But based on this trailer, it's the first time I looked at anything from this movie and went, this could work. So, yes.
Roger, bring it.
All right. The trailer begins with this phrase. We gave you 6 years and millions of dollars, and you gave us nothing. That pretty much sums up my feelings about this movie.
Yes.
We actually gave them 8 years to make it between the last Fantastic Four, but this is nothing new. It's an origin story. Again, we already know the origins of them. All the trailer is showing us is them. Oh, all right, here they are. They're going into space, and they're coming back with those same powers that we all know. Oh, there they are laying on the table. Sue Storm turns invisible? Wowzers! Reed Richards is stretchy? Oh my goodness, I can't believe it. It's just the same old tired stuff, and the trailer just... you got Dr. Doom in there, a little glimpse of him, but it's nothing that exciting.
And he looks stupid.
Yeah. I'll
we've
get
seen
into
him for
that.
15 frames. It was like a half a second.
I'll
shot.
get in,
We
but
saw enough frames to know he looks
to know what he looks like. Yeah, and it is they are holding on to the rights just like they did with the Roger Corman Fantastic Four in the '90s. That's all they're doing.
And I'd like to sorry.
No, go ahead.
Because I have your back. I think we're gonna have similar points. But Dan, Why were you excited?
Well, because
haven't you seen this before 1,000,000 times?
Well, yes, I have, but I mean, again, it's like I said, based on this trailer, I went in, I watched that trailer expecting to see nothing that I liked, and I actually liked what I saw. First of all, I'm already in favor of the cast. You have, I think, an outstanding cast. Those 4 actors are really strong choices, I think. And then the only thing that I really knew about this movie, other than the first teaser, which was like the first Ant-Man teaser, very generic, didn't show you anything, really not much to make a judgment based off of, were the buzz, the story surrounding the movie, Josh Trank, the reshoots, and it was over budget. But I mean, they said that about Titanic too. So really, this movie had bad buzz, which is what kind of gave me that bad feeling in my stomach about it. Looking at the trailer, I thought that's a version of the Fantastic Four that I'd like to see, because keep in mind, we haven't seen a good version of the Fantastic Four yet in any movie, certainly not in the first 2. And
we have. It's called The Incredibles, and I'd much rather see The Incredibles again than another crappy Fox version. And to call up on the cast, I like that cast a lot. The director's good, but it's like the most formulaic Hollywood to say, well, let's put the 4 hottest young Hollywood actors in the movie.
I don't think they match up with the Fantastic
Four. Let's get the guy from Chronicle who has done nothing but Chronicle, and Chronicle was good, but
he's doing Star Wars.
Well, is he not? What knows what he's doing?
They're cherry picking people from House of Cards.
What has he actually made is all I'm pointing out. Nothing.
Enough.
And it's like it's the Hollywood formula to get it out quick and get it done. And I've heard all the rumors, and I think the rumors are true, because I don't even think they knew what they were doing. They had a date they had to make this movie by, and that never makes a good movie. And I challenge that you say, oh, the trailer made it look good. The trailer had the line, which is my favorite line, "They just cracked interdimensional travel." Like, come on! What is this? The Power Rangers? Like,
well, no, it's a comic.
It's a comic book
movie. What do you mean?
Because it's just so stupid. We've seen it before, and it's like they're just rushing through the motions to get them there. And like,
look, but these are all assumptions that you're making based on the movies
you've
seen.
All right, what I saw.
All right, hey, Power. Take out all the political stuff, because I mean we know that. Mm-hmm. Take out that, and specifically this trailer. What didn't you like about it? Keep in mind that cast. I'll let Roger go. Keep in mind that cast is admittedly it's a great cast. I don't know.
I don't think the cast has a lot of chemistry from what I've seen in the trailer so far. They are good actors. I'll give them that. I like House of Cards. Reggie, Kathy, Kate Mara, but both of them together, it's like, all right, yeah, let's just take people out of this popular show and stick them in this movie. I'm not a fan of that. Dr. Doom, I'm not really a fan of how he looks. I mean, they're keeping kind of some of the similar looks, but if you've ever seen Superman 3, there's a woman in that movie named Vera, and she is sucked in by the supercomputer at the end. Yeah, it's a creepy scene.
We're all children. We all remember that nightmare.
Right. Okay. So she's turned into like this android with like electronics passing through her face, and that's kind of what they made Dr. Doom look like. Instead of having this thick face, I'm not a fan of how Doom looks like, but mostly I'm really not liking where they're going with the Thing. They're making him like this super huge, overly bulky thing, and you can tell they really want him to be like the next Hulk for their movie. And they've made him so big that they want him. It feels like he's like roided out like Raphael in that recent Ninja Turtles movie, where he can like knock out Hummers and stuff. But he's not as exciting as the Hulk or anything, because he's a government employee essentially in this movie. We already see him being dropped by a stealth bomber. So the Hulk is just like this unhinged thing that can't be controlled. But the Thing is,
what should an 8-foot-tall rock monster look like?
Well, here's my point. Do we really need another rock monster? Do we need a stretchy dude?
Well, you got it in the Fantastic Four.
These characters are one of the. Check me out, Jason, and back me up, because I looked it up, so you'll find the same thing I did. This was the most underselling comic Marvel's had. This is not the most hottest property. We don't need this property. This property would be better suited in the Marvel Cinematic Universe as supporting characters, as the scientists that they are in the plots they do. And if we're going to do it, it needs to have that more silly, that more lighthearted, over-the-top sci-fi feel that they went too far with the original. But I don't want another gritty, dark, stupid origin
That's what
reboot.
I said in the last movie fights.
It's the same thing we've seen a million times with characters that are silly, because he's a guy that stretches and he's a huge rock. Those are really hard things to sell.
They made the last one silly, though.
But on my point, exactly. But just by turning it, they went too far. Incredibles doesn't. Like, Incredibles is a fun, even though I know that's a kid's movie, it's not. It's a really good movie, and it's like, it has heart, and you feel it with the silliness of those characters, but in this movie, it just feels like, how can you can't take this content
But there
seriously.
were glimpses of humor in the trailer. I think that the interactions between the
forced those
characters
in because they had to.
are going to be humorous, and I think to your point, like, you could say, like, your point of like, oh, these are supporting characters, they shouldn't be, that you could have said that about Iron Man, you could have said that about Thor. That's what those characters were before they made a good movie starring those characters.
Iron Man had a lot of time to prep. This movie didn't. They rushed this movie.
And the Fantastic Four, I think, is an important character in the Marvel Universe. They were the first super team in the Marvel Universe, and I think it's important for them to have
a good movie.
Iron Man also
I think
had
it's important that
Robert
they have
Downey
a good
Jr.
movie.
Iron Man had Robert Downey Jr.
And
This movie doesn't have like that kind of star
You
power.
don't know that. You don't know how these actors are going to be in that performance.
I've
They're
seen them-
certainly capable
saying
of being
Robert
compelling
Downey
characters.
Jr. had more star power than they did. Going
I disagree.
into it.
Robert Downey Jr. was not a big star when they made Iron Man.
But I back up the chemistry. I saw the four of them on the MTV Movie Awards giving out like award. They do not have chemistry
Right. No,
together.
that's what I
Michael
said.
B.
that.
Jordan looks like, God damn, why did I sign to do this
You don't
movie?
know that.
I'm going to be in Creed and have so many. And that's my point. I'd rather see these actors in way better movies than this.
All right.
this
All of
cast
your
member.
arguments, both of you, are made up based off of assumptions that you have about this movie. Mine are based on
off
what
the
I've seen
trailer.
in the trailer.
Okay.
To be correct, that's
I'm
not
talking-
fair. I watched the trailer, and that made my tone and everything I'm saying.
All of my
verified.
comments were based on the trailer. I
All
just
right,
looked
okay,
up the
okay,
thing
right
dropping
right now you
from-
guys are tied because like you're all. I need to know. Give me a sentence. Why should I not, or why should I see this movie or not? Dan first.
We finally got a look at what the movie is, and I think that the characters look interesting enough to make you not be completely in the garbage can about this movie. Which I was. It turned me
So
around.
Can I go next?
Sure.
What?
Go ahead. Fine. I asked.
Roger, go.
It's another origin story, and we don't need it for the Fantastic Four. We've already seen it before. We can just, if you're gonna make a Fantastic Four movie, just get beyond the origin stuff, and let's just start somewhere else, somewhere original, somewhere fresh. And that doesn't mean it has to be dark and gritty with the Fantastic Four. They are goofy. They are silly. I've talked about this in previous movie fights, and that's all there is to it.
To echo the origin, but to go even further, we don't want to support this trend of just we got to get a movie out to keep the rights. That's not how you make movies. And to argue Dan's opinion is it looks better than I thought it was. It's not a disaster. I guess we should give it some credit. That's not a good review.
All right, I got my answer.
You're pretty much paraphrasing. You're like it's not the garbage can we thought it would be.
All right.
But I don't see you excited.
It's got me into going to see it, which is what I think the point of a trailer
question
is.
is, should
It got
we
me
go
to go
see
see
this
it when I
movie?
didn't
But
want to go see it.
Here's the thing.
But no.
Here's the thing. Based on, and I'm being conservative on this, should we go see this movie based on the trailer? I'm going to go with Roger. He had the reason why he shouldn't go to the trailer, and he hit up the origin story the hardest, and the actors. I loved what you had about the politics thing, but like, you can't go in the behind-the-scenes aspect of the movie and focus on that. I get that point. You just weren't excited about this movie.
He wasn't.
You weren't excited about
I
this
went
movie.
from not seeing it to seeing it.
I know,
don't know how
I know,
much
but,
more
like,
clear I
You were
could
not
have.
gonna say, which to be clear, I called that out, but it's fine. I respect your vote.
That was close. But I got to give it to Roger. Roger got the point.
You want to know something? The Fantastic Four trailer may have not turned me around, but you just turned me around about you hosting.
Yeah, look. Yeah, because, I'm just, I'm following the rules, like, a little bit. So I'm just playing, like.
That's all he had, but that's cool.
But he hit it the hardest. Because, like,
Well,
that
I
was.
didn't want. So is that what I need to do?
Are we
going
going to
forward?
fight about the decisions after every
Oh my
round
God,
now?
Thank you.
All right, cool.
Jason,
First round.
Jason,
Jason.
I have
Jason,
some corrections. Josh Trank is directing the next standalone after Rogue One. And also, Fantastic Four is not the lowest Marvel comic of all time. Looking back at December 2014, that was the closest records I could find. In December of 2014, Fantastic Four was the 108th best-selling comic book. Other Marvel comic books that sold lower than that, Loki, Avengers World, and Iron Fist and X-Force, which are also making a movie of.
All of those are making. So,
But
round one done.
That's low.
All right, round two. This is going to be another terrible fight. All right, this week, among all the other trailers, was Jurassic World. They said, hey, me too. So Andy and Dan have gone on record for fighting about this movie a lot. They have very differing opinions about this, so this should just be just hilarious.
Maybe they've changed.
Maybe they have. Maybe
Should
they
we
have
change
changed.
right now?
Anne Rang on Twitter asked, based on the new Jurassic World trailer, are we excited for Jurassic World? Dan, go first. I'm writing notes.
my opinion hasn't changed. I'm not excited about Jurassic World as I wasn't excited the first time. The only thing I liked about this trailer is that they are finally selling this movie as what I suspected it was from the very beginning, which is a big, dumb computer dinosaur movie that has the Jurassic Park name on it. They finally came. That first trailer was all about trying to replicate the wonder and the magic of the first Jurassic Park. This one was just like, oh, dinosaurs run. Nothing about this movie makes me excited. I think it's going to be the same summer dumb blockbuster. You swap out Transformers for dinosaurs, and I think that's what this movie is. We've been down the road of bigger, badder dinosaur and smart dinosaurs before with Jurassic Park 3, and it didn't work. Do you know how many dinosaurs were in the trailer for the first Jurassic Park? I'll tell you how many. 0. You saw pieces. You saw no actual dinosaurs in the actual trailer. There were no dinosaurs in the trailer for the first Jurassic Park. This one is just
the wide shot of the brontosauruses.
Not in the trailer. No.
Which trailer?
The full trailer that I saw had no dinosaurs
trailer.
in it. The one with you saw the eye, you saw hands, you saw shadows. You didn't see dinosaurs in the trailer. I watched it yesterday.
That's a problem with trailers in general today, showing too much.
I agree. Yes.
If you want big dumb computer monster movie, fine. That's not what I expect from or want from a Jurassic Park movie, and it didn't make me excited to see it.
Roger, bring the heat.
I'm kind of with Dan on it. I'm not excited about it. In the first Jurassic World trailer, we saw this giant aquatic dinosaur, a mosasaur, jumping up and eating a shark. In the second trailer, we see the same dinosaur again, jumping up and eating a pterodactyl instead. It's clearly a one-trick pony, and we've already seen just about all we're going to see about this dinosaur. Maybe a human falls in there and he eats it too at some point in the movie. All right, great. I'm totally not excited about the trailer. Already showed me everything about that. The big new dinosaur, the Indominus Rex, they had all these years to come up with this amazing mutant dinosaur that they could make to, really wow the crowds. So what do? They give a Tyrannosaurus longer arms. That's their creativity for this movie. The Sci-Fi Channel comes up with better creatures than that. Jesus. If you want to entertain me, give a T-Rex lightsabers for legs. Give it giant squid tentacles for arms. Give it Gatling guns protruding from its nostrils. Give these people something to be excited about, But no, we don't get that. And also the Indominus Rex.
Stay focused.
Yeah, the Indominus Rex can communicate with other dinosaurs and all. Come on, like you said, we don't need to see the same Jurassic Park 3 intelligence and all that. And Chris Pratt training raptors in it. I mean, Jesus, that is making me. It harkens back to like Grizzly Man. I just want to know that.
God, he would be good in that.
Oh, absolutely. But think about it. The writers of this movie are not going to have the balls to kill off Chris Pratt and have him die training dinosaurs. We know that's not going to happen. We know Chris Pratt is going to survive. So I'm just not excited about it.
A lot of speculation on these two fighters' parts still. But
sure.
No, mine's not speculation
on
at all.
Roger, a lot of, we don't know if Chris Pratt dies. We don't know what's going to happen with this
Do we need to rewind last round?
But anyway, the point being, I'd like to focus like we did. To me, Chris Pratt is at the height of his powers. I'm going to go better than that. I'm extremely excited for this movie, and I think these guys are just being butthurt, over nerds, and it's that's something I tend to do a lot.
Yes.
But come on, guys, it's the movies. Sometimes you got to just have a fun, good time. And there is no better movie that did that to me than Jurassic Park. Are we ever going to get something as good as that, especially in the Jurassic Park canon? No, we're not. You can't rekindle that magic in any way. But this is the first time out of those sequels that I felt like, all right, they got a fun idea. And you know what the fun idea is? The park is active. We don't have dinosaurs running around in broken landscapes and stupid abandoned things, and the same old cast coming back. We have a new cast, a hot actor who I actually really like. I'm excited to see him.
Hot.
He's hot in all the kind of ways of hot. And they're not. I think the mutant dino is cool. I'm into it. And you know what? I'm glad they didn't go silly and make it human hybrid weirdo with tentacle arms. That's so.
But just long arms.
Entirely
Come
stupid.
on.
But
that
you know why? Because I'm
cop-out.
speculating now. It's because they mixed the T-Rex and the Raptor. And to me, that is interesting. What if you gave the T-Rex the Raptor gene that made it that, and he could, the scariest dinosaur actually is this smarter dinosaur now, which the T-Rex is notoriously, from what we've gathered of history or science, is he was a dumb dinosaur. Now he's a smart dinosaur. That's fun for me. And I have so much more I can go, but I want to bring it back. But the training of the raptors, to me, I don't understand why we're so hung up on that. To me, that makes sense in the world of if you had dinosaurs like you have dolphins, like you have anything else, you could eventually figure out a way to do that by feeding them, by doing things like we're just seeing a point, which I'm bothered by because I get it. You're seeing a sprinkle of it. But I think in the movie, it's just stupid of us to not think like, well, okay, if we did Jurassic Park for real, we can't train these animals? They're animals.
But it completely contradicts the one thing that stayed constant through every Jurassic Park movie is that the raptors are a force of nature. Yes. You can outsmart a T-Rex, you can outrun it. If the raptors show up, you're screwed.
Right.
And now they're
kind of destroying that lineage.
They're golden retrievers.
I don't think that's what they're calling them. He just can train them. Now, to be fair,
and fight alongside them.
I don't disagree with that.
Yeah,
note.
there's this.
I don't disagree with that.
Scene
But we don't know if that's what's happening. If
he's
the
riding with
dominant
them,
dinosaur is the threat, and the Raptors are going up with Chris Pratt to take out that threat,
he's
it doesn't
riding
mean
with
the
them.
Raptors aren't going to then turn around and take out the owners. And to point that, the raptor eats a human in the trailer. If you look closely enough, there is a human who's getting eaten by a raptor.
Of course,
so
they're
if the
gonna have the
Raptors
raptor
are
eat a
so
human.
smart that they're working with Chris Pratt to get out, that's even cooler. Sign me
They're
up, baby.
riding on
Oh,
a
that's right.
motorcycle.
They won't eat Chris Pratt because it's about mutual respect.
no,
I'm
they
sorry.
might.
Your blind nostalgia for the first Jurassic Park movie is completely, what do we do for a living?
Well,
How many red flags has this thing have to pop up for you before you start seeing what this movie could
stop
be?
talking about the other sequels. Stop talking about
It
the
has
other
nothing to
sequels.
do with them. They were terrible.
No,
Well,
okay,
can
stop.
I address this argument about the first Jurassic Park?
Yes.
Okay. You know what made the first Jurassic Park great? A great movie? It wasn't the dinosaurs. It was the characters. It was Jeff Goldblum. It was Richard Attenborough. One of the best scenes in the movie is two people in an empty cafeteria talking to each other. What have you seen in anything in this movie?
Vincent D'Onofrio, who's
Vincent
awesome
D'Onofrio,
in
who you
Kingpin,
saw
as
3
Kingpin.
seconds of. But
He's
we're
in
going to
it.
spend most of our time with Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard. And
Beanie Wong.
everything. Did you see the clip of them talking that they released?
So
It's
what?
prequel
Okay,
level.
okay,
It's
okay.
prequel level.
It's out of context.
I'm telling you,
it's
this
out
is
of
going to be a
context.
dumb, underwritten CGI
Take-
monster movie. There's nothing that tells me that it's going to be
Take
anything
out the
different.
other 3 Jurassic Park movies.
Yes. Look.
Would you still see this movie?
Hell yeah, they would.
Look,
No.
actually, all right. Look,
Roger,
the question is, are we excited for Jurassic World? I've said it from the beginning. I'm not excited. Yeah, I can go see the movie and stuff, but I'm not
fair
excited
enough,
about
fair
it. But
enough.
but look, here's the thing. We do have Chris Pratt riding with Velociraptors on motorcycle in the trailer and stuff, which it already looks ridiculous. I do agree that it kind of destroys some of the old Jurassic Park stuff. But fine, I can go into these movies. They're bubblegum movies. I know it's not like some serious, crazy thing, but to get me excited. I mean, this is actually kind of ripping off a comic called Cadillacs and Dinosaurs. In a way, him riding with these mice. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. But there's a comic called Cadillacs and Dinosaurs where it's like this post-apocalyptic world where mechanics are the most respected people, and since oil can no longer be harvested for their cars, they fuel their cars with dinosaur shit. Dinosaur dung powered cars. That is a movie I want to see.
Okay. Dan.
Listen, I've sat through one halfway good Jurassic Park sequel, and I've sat through a
one
bad.
was it?
Yeah, which one was it?
Lost World was half of a good movie, I thought.
Was it the?
But I mean, it lost the wheels when it went into San Diego. I thought there was some good stuff in Lost World.
So you thought the gymnastics routine was great?
No, again, that's why I said it was. I said it was half of a good movie. Jurassic Park 3 was bad, and there's nothing. I'm not seeing anything that just tells me this isn't going to be a bigger scale Jurassic Park 3. It's not enough for just a Jurassic Park movie to be made. They tried to market this thing saying that they're going back to the original. It's going to capture some of that same magic, and I'm seeing none of that in any of the trailers.
I'm
None.
seeing it
I
being
see it.
set up.
Hold on, you just had. I want to see my last piece.
go ahead.
Yeah, I totally felt the magic and I think the reason the first one was also so good is because we were like kids, and it was like the
No,
first time.
it's still awesome.
No,
It
it
does hold
helped
up.
a ton.
It holds
It
up.
helped a ton though to make it that pinnacle of movie. But that's my side point. This movie looks fun. They're finally doing something different by having the dinosaurs even attack.
All right.
What?
No. I think
There's that homage shot of where they're eating, and they cut back to the wide brontosaurus shot that we know and love from the movie, and they're all dead. Like, I'm into that. I like that the park's active. I like that we're going to see new twists and spins, and I hope we don't see it, but I think it's unfair of us to jump down their throats because the plot leaked. Every internet service, if they had saved these moments, which they were already out there, they sort of are confirming it, it's unfair of us to sort of take them out of context and say this is stupid. Those are fun, new, creative plot twists that I encourage movies should try and do, and I think it's going to be a fun movie. I'm excited for it.
How
I
is
feel
it
like we've
creative to do
seen-
the same beats that they already hit in Jurassic Park?
They
And
didn't
we've
train
seen-
raptors before.
Okay,
they
I
didn't
got-
see the park in full.
We've seen
full
most of the
activity.
movie.
Nick talk.
The
Nick
pterodactyls taking the people away
Nick.
looks so cool.
What did you watch that trailer?
I did. Actually, in the trailer, there is a shot of a raptor attacking a guy. I also watched the first Jurassic Park trailer, and Dan is exactly right. They only show shadows, pieces, and a close-up of an eye. They never give you a full shot of a dinosaur ever in that trailer.
In the new trailer, they also show.
That was never gonna affect me.
In the new trailer, they also show the Indominus Rex just quickly scooping up a minority guy as Chris Pratt magically gets
Yep.
away from him. It's like, come
Okay,
on.
you know what? Here's the thing.
I'm not on board with that argument.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. You actually convinced me that Andy won.
yes.
Yeah, you actually convinced me.
How?
Huh?
How?
By just like, the way you were describing some
All
of
the
those
silly
things.
stuff he's pitching.
No, not that. It had nothing to do with Cadillacs
and dinosaurs?
Yeah, hashtag.
Cadillacs and Dinosaurs, by
It's
the way,
just
was
like-
a CBS cartoon.
I'm sorry.
It
this
was
is
also a
just
comic
me.
and an arcade game, yeah.
Can we stop talking about Cadillacs and dinosaurs?
No,
Please,
no.
I agree.
No, listen, no. One thing I have to say about Cadillac.
I will take your point away. The movie, Andy did the best job of convincing me that this was fun more than you guys convinced me that it was too stupid. And I think that's what I got to go with. It looks
Okay, but how did I convince you that Andy won?
because when you were slow talking and not talking about Cadillacs and dinosaurs, the way you were describing the scenes, it actually helped me convince Andy, reinforce Andy's
Because it looked
point.
fun.
Yeah.
Do you know about
It does look
Dinosaurs
fun.
Attack?
I'm guilty of it all the time. I think on this movie,
Wow.
the nerds need to relax and see the movie.
I am not excited. I'm fine, Nick. You don't have to do that.
But I
It's
can't
fine.
believe Fantastic Four is the one that excites you more than this. But it is.
No, also, it just looks good. Round 3, let's do this. All right. So this one should be hilarious. There has been a lot of love, hate, and meh reactions to Batman vs. Superman.
V?
No.
Yeah.
So
I
Nathan
agree.
Keller asked a question. I want you guys to pitch me the ultimate Batman vs. Superman movie. Because we're all fans of DC.
Can we
Yes,
echo
we
with that?
are.
Yeah.
Like and I said this on
Yeah.
Twitter and got probably my most reactions I've ever gotten. But we're not DC haters. I just personally hate Man of Steel. I think it's a joyless,
It's a terrible
dark
movie.
tone. I don't like a lot of the choices they made. The action was just chaotic. It had no sense. I love Batman. I love Superman. I want to love these movies. And I just crapped on Fantastic Four.
It's like watching
We're
that.
not raving about Ultron for a reason. It's good, but and we're
And
not.
can I personally say that I'm not a Marvel hater because of last week's round? I love them both.
It's
So there you go.
And we
We
should be
don't-
grateful they're all happening, but stop accusing
But it's like
everybody.
We don't live in a binary society. You can like two different
Yes.
things.
Yes.
Points for everyone.
Please,
Points for
God.
everyone.
This
we
is not-
don't hate DC. We just hate the one movie, and this looks like it's like that same movie.
I know. It's like your stepdad raising your kid, and he's always wearing Ed Hardy shirts and taking him to bars.
DC and
any of
Marvel,
this means.
Mac vs. PC.
We love The Dark
it's
Knight.
like-
That's a DC
yeah.
movie.
All right, Dan, you're going first. Bring the heat. Bring the fire.
Okay.
I want to pitch.
So my ultimate Batman Superman movie is based loosely off of a short-run, 3-run issue in 1990 that was written by Dave Gibbons, who is the artist on Watchmen, called World's Finest. I should note, and I think Andy and I are in agreement on this, my spin-off movie is preceded by an actual Superman sequel and a solo Batman movie to establish who these characters are. It's not directly leading out of Man of Steel.
Yeah. Now, this is based off Man of Steel?
I mean, this is obviously still with Henry Cavill and stuff, but we'll have had a Superman sequel and a Batman movie.
Okay.
So basically, it starts off with Lex Luthor expanding his criminal operations to Gotham City. So we've established Lex Luthor as Superman's nemesis. Now he's expanding his operations to Gotham City, which necessitates Clark Kent / Superman to travel there and find out what Lex is up to. What he finds out is that he has a new partner who's helping him get a foothold into the criminal underground of Gotham City, the Joker. This Batman is also investigating the Joker because he's up to some shady stuff, which brings Superman and Batman together. Now, as always with the comic books, they're a little skeptical of each other at first. Particularly, Superman does not approve of Batman's way of doing things, the intimidation, the beating up of criminals. But because that they have to unite against a common enemy, they work together against Lex Luthor and the Joker. It kind of tells a story about how they meet, how they form their friendship, and it ends with them being the partners that we know that they are in the comic books, and a kind of tentative wink-wink acknowledgement that each one knows the other one's secret. Superman obviously has got the X-ray vision, and the greatest detective in the world can probably figure out that Clark Kent is Superman fairly easily. So that's it. It ends with Batman and Superman being partners. I think it is a better lead into the Justice League. My favorite two superheroes are Batman and Superman. So for everyone that says,
who's directing your movie?
Who's directing my movie? Well, that's a good question.
I'll come back to you, and then so you guys have time to think about that. Roger, let's go with you.
Okay. In my movie, Clark Kent has given up his powers as Superman at the start of it for love, so he can live a normal human life with Lois Lane.
Superman 2. No, that's what I'm saying. That just like for reference. Yeah, I'm not saying that one way.
So he has powers, but he's not using them.
All right,
no, I'm asking. Yeah, no, for clarification.
He does not have powers. He has lost his powers, like in Superman 2.
Okay.
Right. Bruce Wayne learns that Superman has abandoned his amazing gifts and abilities to basically save everyone in the world, and he's pissed about this. He's like, "You had this amazing gift. You could have helped way more people than I ever could have." So he wants to punish Kent for doing this. So being the suave genius billionaire that he is, he decides to woo Lois Lane. And he basically has her fall in love with him, and she dumps Clark. So Clark is just feeling like crap because he lost his Superman powers, and he lost his girl, and it's all because of Bruce Wayne. So already
so he makes a cuckold of him?
Kind of. So Kent decides like he needs to go all the way back to his Fortress of Solitude to regain his Superman powers, only to discover that Wayne predicted that he would do this, and he blew the place up. So Kent is really screwed now because he just can't figure out a way. He can't become Superman again. Now, unfortunately, the one thing Wayne did not predict was that the Joker and Lex Luthor would be coming back into the story. They are back in play now. They are wreaking havoc on Gotham and Metropolis. And Wayne is a little bit older now, and he cannot handle the chaos that both of these guys are causing. Plus, they murder Lois Lane, and Bruce Wayne feels like that's his fault. That is his fault. Hold on.
You really stuck that in under the radar. Okay.
Yeah. Look. So from there, Batman, he feels absolutely guilty about it, and all this chaos is ensuing because of these two master criminals. So he goes back to Clark Kent begrudgingly, and he basically informs him that he kept one of the crystals and he can give him his powers back, but he has to agree to start fighting for the world again and not, come out of retirement or anything.
So many ups and downs.
Yep. I'll go into it more, but
director? Do you need time on director?
I don't know if any of us prepared director.
No, I know.
Yeah, we weren't really thinking.
Yeah, I didn't prepare
directors.
Think about it.
All of these are just making me not really want to see it at all, and so I'm sort of adjusting my pitch a little bit. But it's like, to echo what Dan said, we are on the same page. But I'm way. I mean, like that's my main part of this is I do not want this movie yet. This movie would have been delayed several movies.
For sure.
I want to make that very clear of my pitch. That's extremely important to me. Because to me, you need to establish Superman. Yes. You need to establish Batman. You probably need to do a couple of those and get that really clear. And to me, I don't really want to see Batman fight right away. I don't think that's what they do. I think to me, the separation of how I'm doing it, I am going to get to a specific plot that I'm borrowing from. But Superman's cocky and strong, and Batman's more resourceful and tactful and tricky. And like they are the great sort of adversaries that I don't feel like really need to go toe to toe. You want to build up to that extremely well. And I think even if they hate each other, they're not going to do it. They're going to see the pros in each other, and it's going to require a serious amount of time and history to really create verses, which is what we're doing. Like that. How to make the ultimate Batman versus Superman movie. And to me, that only happens with a lot of buildup. And so to me, the plot line that I would do is I would do Batman, I would do Superman, do separate movies. Maybe they appear, you do a little cameo, they're meeting each other. I would then get more into a Justice League almost version where then the ultimate Batman Superman shows down in Justice League, which is what Batman Superman's doing under the banner of Batman Superman, but it's really building the Justice League. But to me, the ultimate showdown is what I'm trying to get to of what I want to see Batman Superman. And it's stealing from the comic, the Tower of Babel. And so to me, it's one of the coolest things that is. So Batman is so resourceful that he always has contingency plans. And so he saved the spoiler alert, if you read the comic, he saves the weaknesses of every hero in the Justice League. And he has them so he can take each of them out if need be in a circumstance. Because that's Batman. He's always smart in doing that. So bad guy, Joker, steals that information and is able to start taking out all the Justice League members. It's weighing on Batman. It's Batman's fault. He's the one who's done the research and done it. And so to me, he kills the Flash, or he kills Cyborg. He kills one of them. It's drastic. This is a build-up. Keep in mind, we're doing it, whether they come back or not, Marvel style, TBD. But this is a serious throwdown.
Batman kills.
No, to the Joker,
okay.
Because of Batman's intel, starts killing their friends. That finally makes them go toe-to-toe, because Superman's finally fed up and says, I've always wanted to, I've always bat a blind eye to you, but I can't do it anymore. Batman's intel against Superman takes him a little bit out, and Superman almost dies but gets away. Then Batman doesn't have a second one, and Superman finally sort of prisons him away, and that to me then causes the legitimate conflict of them finally going to toe and Superman showing his powers to take Batman out. That to me is then the ultimate showdown of then Batman having to come to figure it out again quickly. Them trying to fight back. How does he do it again? Because the really way you take out Superman is with some sort of secret kryptonite that Batman's prepared and is always prepared in those battles and takes him out. So to me, seeing Batman have to struggle to figure that out again while Superman does it, I have more to it, but I just want to get to me that's how the conflict is going to be best suited, when it's under the mass of everything else falling apart and they've had that history built.
Do me a favor before you go after them. Give me more of you. What's the tone of yours?
The tone is well. That's I'm actually going to kind of address this with my argument. My problem with both of yours is my Ultimate Superman Batman movie is not them in conflict. I don't think the Ultimate Superman Batman movie is them against each other.
We're in agreement then.
I think the Ultimate Superman Batman movie is them joining forces to fight crime.
That's
yes,
what
they're
happens
skeptical.
at
Well, your 15-minute long pitch didn't get to that, Roger. You got halfway through your movie. We got to Superman, Batman gives them some crystals or something. I don't know. I wasn't. It's a soap opera. And you kill Lois Lane.
No, I was. Clear, I agree with Dan, and whether that gives him the point or not. But to me, I was focusing on what ultimately gives us the best versus movie. I was trying to get us to that point. So I guess it's my fault for it. But to me, I'm agreeing. I think you need to build that build up. So we're on the same point.
It doesn't matter if
you picked that first. But to me, I think there's even a stronger value of getting to them to that point where they can actually fight, because they do so well in the comics.
They fight in the comics,
but it's only after the history. And to me, if we're going to do it, you got to build that history, and then you got to have that really amazing moment. And I think cribbing from that Tower of Babel storyline is such a cool way to do it that you do over several movies and hopefully surprise the audience.
They fight in the comics, and Batman even faked his death once, and Superman winks at Robin in the comics and all that. I mean, it's happened before because
I just think the tone of my movie is positive. Yes, Gotham City. It'll have, because it's Gotham City. Metropolis has always been the bright, Times Square to Gotham's Detroit. But it's not going to be incredibly bright, because it'll be partially set in Gotham City, but it will be a positive movie. Superman is going to be, I don't think he's cocky. Like you said, he's just a positive guy. He's almost like, Captain America. He's almost too positive, which is why he's such a good foil for Batman. Initially, because they do seem to be so conflicting, but when they join forces, they're a great team. And I think that the ultimate movie is them friends, because yes, I think it does eventually lead to them fighting. It's my main problem with this new one. Is what's a more interesting story? Two old friends get into a bad fight, or two strangers meet on the street and fight each other.
That's why we're hating on it, guys. It's not to do with they don't like the characters. I agree.
So also because we like Marvel better.
Yeah. So the tone of mine is much more in keeping in line with the comic book, which is that they're friends, and they do, Superman kind of is always joking how grim Batman is, and Batman's always joking about how Mr. Boy Scout Captain America, no irony there, I guess, Superman is. So they have this kind of
Iron Man, Captain America.
It's an adversarial kind of relationship, but it's friendly, So the tone of mine is positive. It's very comic booky.
And then
to echo, to me, the reason why I'm more excited for Iron Man, for Captain America Civil War, is because they've been building that up strong. Yeah. And to me, you can get there, but it wouldn't have worked without it.
I'm taking each answer with the series of movies. I'm taking each answer with, that there's a series of movies. Mm-hmm. All right, I got my answer, and this one's, the hardest. Roger, you had me for a while. The cuckolding of...
See, here's the thing. Like, I didn't even get to say, yeah, we are having them battling each other, but not until after they've wiped out all the criminals, the criminal element. They're going to battle each other afterwards because, he's still pissed that Batman stole his girl.
I
and
just
she's
don't know
dead
why
because of
if
him.
Batman wanted Superman to be Superman, then he did it by blowing up the Fortress of Solitude.
No, I told you he kept he
kept one.
You can move on
because he knew it could.
Hey, you know that thing that you're not doing? Well, I'm gonna blow up so you can never do it again.
Because he knew he was going to go back to the Fortress of Solitude to attack Batman. He wasn't going to use his powers to fight for humanity.
I literally
he
wrote-
was holding that. That was his ace in the hole to be like, Superman, I'll
so
give you your
confused.
powers
I literally
back.
wrote Batman terrorist.
Can I also mention that you killed Lois Lane?
Yeah, oh,
like,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
a throwaway line?
Yes.
That's a pretty
Okay.
big part of you.
Yeah.
Got a throwaway line.
So that gets dark.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, and I'm gonna just need a little bit more because you have more plot, and it's interesting as hell. But it's
Thank you.
But it's super dark. You have the tone I like, but not enough plot. So just give me. I need a tiebreaker. Give me a tagline.
Ugh.
I know. I need something because I don't have enough.
They've been I'm not good at
I'm
writing
not good at
tags.
writing taglines on this.
But to me, it's they're
Or give me one more 30 seconds.
They're friends that go, that have always been at one at each other. That's to me what I'm building up is that they never really trust each other because Superman's too powerful. Batman's a little sneaky, and you don't know. And Superman, that's what it is. And so finally, what takes them and creates finally that spark is Batman's actual smartness working against him in a way that kills their friends. To me, that finally justifies and builds up that amazing thing where you're like, holy crap. One, I think that's so fun and clever. I want to see, of course, Batman keeps an arsenal and a dossier of all the weaknesses. And that in the hands of the Joker is so fun to watch too. And that's going to set Superman off because Superman is the stronger one. If Batman doesn't have time to prepare, Superman wins. If Batman does have time to prepare, Batman wins. So to me, it just throws everything off in kilter and makes it so much more exciting to see those two go toe to toe.
Well, as long as his fortress is not blown up.
Exactly.
I mean, my main argument is just that my ultimate Superman-Batman movie is not them fighting each other, and it's not heroes dying. It's them joining forces to defeat crime, to defeat the criminal element, establishing their friendship, which is a very important one in the comic books. And for me, them fighting would be, probably a good movie, but my ultimate Superman-Batman movie is not that. It's them joining forces.
To help you, mine does all that, but then has a way cooler finale that I already delivered.
I just don't want to see them fight in my,
Dan,
that's not
I
me.
loved it. Yours was great. I got to go with Andy because it had
Yes!
that extra level and
That was the round I was most nervous about.
If I had
your answer was terrible.
you said I had you at first. So.
You had me at first,
Okay.
and then you lost it. And then
This is good though. I
Crispin Glover would have been the Joker in mine, if that helps.
for me and you, no one else would
Okay.
have wanted that.
All right. I disagree with that.
agree. I didn't like Rogers, but Dan was pretty good. It was close.
He basically said my answer was the best one.
I didn't. I said mine was yours, but then I gave a kicker that was
He
better.
agreed with everything I
borrowed
said.
a
He
comic
had the
kicker.
plot. I
I
could
had the
see
kicker
that
at
movie.
the end. That was,
I could see that in my
We
head.
both
in my
we
mind's
both had
eye, I
Joker
could
and
see it.
Luther.
That's fine. You're the judge.
All right.
Happy birthday, Nick.
Dad, what do you think?
that was good.
Dad, which movie did you want to see the most?
I like Dan's personally.
Thank you, Mr. Monday. I
love that.
appreciate that.
Jason, what about you?
I'm this Dan's. I'm sorry. Yeah, Dan's is the movie I wanted to see.
Well, that's fine, guys. It's all right.
Yeah.
It's Nick's decision.
Okay.
He's the judge.
He's
All
the
right,
judge.
and
Yep.
Here's round 4.
I still don't even know really what Dan's movie was. Dan was a
That was
series
my-
of partnerships, whereas I did give a plot.
It
But
was
anyway,
Batman and Superman teaming up to fight the Joker and Lex
yeah,
Luthor and
that's
Gotham
also
City.
generic.
I was supposed to go first last round.
I know.
Yeah, you did. I was.
Yeah.
I
He
will. I
needs
apologize
to go
about
first.
that. Okay, I'll go.
It's all right.
Okay, so this is a special round for me. In honor of Nothing to Report, my Comedy Central show on ComedyCentral.com and their YouTube channel, here's a question I decided
Is that
to...
really the reason you wanted to host? Just
Oh,
so
yeah.
to give that plug.
Oh, yeah, big time.
Please,
And no,
no,
you
I'm
already did
joking.
it on Screen
Please go
Junkies.
see that
Yeah.
show, guys.
It's
Can
doing
we
well.
all
Thank you
help
so much.
Nick plug this.
Yeah.
It's very funny. You and Chris Jericho.
Thank you very much. So I need you guys to team up living, working actors for the best buddy cop movie. This is very special to me. You know how seriously I take buddy cops. I want to be wowed. I want to be a little...
Excited?
I'm glad I didn't see what he just did.
I
there.
will... I did
pointed
this,
to his genitals.
And then I...
Oh, okay. All right. You want a boner?
Dad.
Okay.
Roger, go first.
All right.
Jason, I'll need you to tell me who to go after that to keep it in order.
You have it on your numbers.
Yeah,
I think.
yeah.
Yeah.
This is great.
Just follow the numbers, brother.
I have the perfect team, and I totally think you're
Bring
going
it.
to be on
I
board
want to
with
do this. I'm excited.
Peter Weller and Alan Rickman. Yes, I said RoboCop and Alan Rickman as buddy cops. All right, so Alan Rickman starts out as a normal cop, albeit a disgruntled one, as you would expect, when he is teamed up with RoboCop, the latest in high-tech justice. And we're talking about the old RoboCop, not the remake one. It's Peter Weller. He hates that RoboCop is the future of fighting crime and will probably cost cops like him his job. But, he's been assigned to be his partner. RoboCop eventually has some computer glitch and goes haywire and accidentally blows off Alan's legs halfway through the movie. Then Alan is revived by the same scientists who built RoboCop, and they replace his legs with tank treads. So he's now given a shoulder cannon and a new name, Mandroid. He is Mandroid and RoboCop as buddy cops. He's still more annoyed than ever. He has his brain. He's not like half robot, half android or anything. Just his lower legs, but he's has the shoulder cannon and the tank treads and all. And they have to work together, RoboCop and Mandroid, to take the biggest crime lord in the city down, Big Boss, played by the one and only Tom Hiddleston. Big Boss has created a highly addictive synthetic drug with the street name Dylanol, which causes your body to go into a dreamlike state of dazed paralysis while simultaneously releasing serotonin into your brain. Sounds great, but it essentially leaves people all over the city as mindless, drooling slugs. Eventually, they have a showdown with Big Boss, only to discover that he's built his own super killbot that he personally controls with a device that looks like the Nintendo Power Glove. So they have to defeat Killbot, and then they execute their own brand of justice on Big Boss. And Big Boss gets killed because RoboCop shoots his kneecaps, and as Killbot goes to actually arrest him and put his cuffs on, he accidentally runs over his face with his tank treads. The end.
Can I have a point of clarification here? Is this the Mandroid from the movie or the Mandroid who's an Iron Man villain?
Doesn't matter.
Which one?
I would say this is closer to Mandroid from the B movie known as Eliminators in the 80s.
Okay.
Yeah. He's half human, half tank, essentially.
Okay. Okay.
Yep.
Andy.
So I'm not going to get drowned in specifics like that because to me, they're a buddy cop.
I want to see the poster.
We know what a buddy cop movie is, but here's the poster, right? Hannibal Buress and The Rock. Now, the plot doesn't matter. Who's the funniest guy right now?
Pandering.
Literally, it's Hannibal Buress. Who's watching Saturday Night Live? Who was actually is hilarious as that guy and has never really had it? It was The Rock. The Rock hosting Saturday Night Live was really, really funny. It was one of their best episodes they've had in forever, and he played the straight man a lot, but he also got to go crazy. So to me, you have him as the tough cop. You have him as the action hero. That's who he is. But he's partnered up with the wild card. We've seen this a ton of times. I get it. But it doesn't matter because those only work when the team up has the chemistry. And those guys are going to have an amazing chemistry. Hannibal Buress is hilarious. He needs a venue to showcase it. Him offset The Rock, going to stop Miami drug lords. I could give you 10 plots. We've seen them all a million times. That's not the point. The reason a buddy cop movie works is the chemistry. And I want to see those two together stopping bad guys.
All right. It's very cute. You guys are just, what would I like?
I wasn't even pandering. You know what I thought? Literally, I was like, I had a bunch of people. I was like, Bradley Cooper, Elizabeth, and then The Rock came in genuinely without even realizing. I was like, you know what? The Rock would be a good choice. So I don't want it to be clear. I did that without pandering, but it doesn't hurt.
Listen, he's a great action star. Okay, so mine is actually a reboot or remake. I guess it could be either one of an action franchise that's dead, and it's a Beverly Hills Cop. And my two buddy cops are Eddie Murphy, playing Axel Foley, and Donald Glover. And it kind of puts the original on its head in that Eddie Murphy is still in the Beverly Hills Police Department, but over the years he has grown into the kind of cop that he was fighting against in the first few movies, and Donald Glover is the young upstart coming in. They're paired together, and it kind of turns it on its head. And it's a little bit about how Eddie Murphy's career is going to be, hopefully, with this movie, in that it's about Eddie Murphy becoming Axel Foley again through this young cop played by Donald Glover, and kind of turning around. And by the end, we kind of get that magic again. He breaks him out of his crustiness because the 30 years of being in the police department have broken him down. He's an older man now.
So he starts.
I don't want to see serious Eddie Murphy.
I was just going to say he starts out
awful.
serious.
Well,
Way
I
too
mean,
much
he's
plot.
not grim, but he's the kind of stick in the mud cop that's used as a foil.
So basically, Eddie Murphy now.
Yes, exactly. It's Eddie Murphy now,
I don't want
and
to see that.
Okay, well that's up to you. You don't have to pay your money to see it.
Let me ask you
I think
this.
it'd be interesting.
So you just said like towards the end he breaks out and becomes like old Axel F. So we're gonna have to sit through like 45 or 60 minutes of him being serious.
No,
you really want to waste that opportunity.
Eddie
to
Murphy
have
can. Eddie
90
Murphy.
minutes of genuine classic Eddie Murphy comedy.
Eddie Murphy can be funny, serious. He can play the straight man. I think he's a talented actor. He can play more than one note. And Donald Glover is the young upstart cop that's playing the Eddie Murphy role. And I think it would kind of turn it on its head and be an interesting take on it.
No, notice I'm ignoring his because that was not a buddy cop
I don't
movie.
like that.
That was a.
I don't like
the
that.
reason I'm ignoring that is
right.
because it was a science fiction mumbo jumbo.
No, it wasn't.
RoboCop and Alan Rickman talk about fan service.
All right,
to the
let
man.
me address
Hold
that.
on, wait. You can, but let me.
All right,
sorry,
go ahead, go
but
ahead.
that makes no sense. That made no sense. That's not what buddy cop movies are.
Okay.
This is closer, but the reason this isn't a good buddy cop is because they did it. It was called the Beverly Hills Cop TV show. I've seen the pilot. Eddie Murphy was the general. It was the worst piece of garbage ever made, and they didn't put it to air, even though Eddie Murphy was in it and attached, and it was Beverly Hills Cop for
How
CBS.
long was he in it?
He was in? He had a couple moments, and he was going to
He
be
had a
in more.
couple moments. This
But
is a movie.
I seen it too. Like
it was
The
terrible.
problem wasn't his fault though.
Granted, but still, it was terrible. And this idea of I don't want to see serious Eddie Murphy. That I just don't. I think he's terrible as serious. And I get it. He gets funny. But I want to see him funny from the moment.
But what's your pitch other than just Hannibal Buress and The
My
Rock?
pitch is two really funny, smart action heroes of the now who can go off on a fun adventure. Granted, we need
What's the adventure?
cool-
That's just a generic description of any buddy
That's
cop
right.
movie.
I
That's
don't-
not a
I don't
pitch.
agree.
I'm pitching a
Cop
full
Out
movie.
didn't work because
You
it
gave
was
me stars.
Cop Out was a buddy cop movie they tried with Bruce Willis and Tracy Morgan. It didn't work because they didn't have the chemistry. Bruce Willis didn't care. It could have worked if they had actually had the energy and the
movie was never
edginess.
gonna work.
All right,
It was,
let me
but my
address
point is,
mine.
All right,
if you
Roger.
put two actors in who have that chemistry and edginess, it doesn't matter what they do.
But have The Rock and Hannibal Buress ever done anything together?
But The Rock is a professional.
Well, yeah, I know.
He can work with anyone, Nick. I think we both know that. And I think Hannibal is funny enough that it's like he's the Eddie Murphy that we pluck in now versus an Eddie Murphy who doesn't want to be funny anymore.
Okay, look, to address, about mine not being a buddy cop. Buddy cop movies still have plots. They still have, there's an antagonist and all.
But how are they buddies?
I'm talking about,
Yeah, what's the buddy?
I'm gonna get to that. Okay. So look, buddy cop movies, a lot of times it's two guys who are kind of annoyed with each other, like they're partnered up when they shouldn't be partnered up. That's part of the comedy. Alan Rickman plays a great. I mean, we already know
Wait,
he's a great actor.
I don't mean to interrupt. So, Peter Weller is playing RoboCop?
Yes, I've already established
and
that.
Alan Rickman is not playing Hans Gruber.
No.
Okay.
No. Alan Rickman, we've seen
Old Alan Rickman.
Yes.
Okay, sorry.
I'm following it. Don't worry.
Okay, all right. So Alan Rickman is, he was a cop. He's been a cop for a long time, and they introduced RoboCop, as I've already said. Now, Alan Rickman, he's a great actor. We've seen him in Die Hard and all that stuff, but he's great with comedy. He plays a wonderful annoyed character, especially in Galaxy Quest. Anyone who's seen Galaxy Quest knows he plays that character perfectly. So him,
RoboCop
the comedy,
will be the funny guy because
RoboCop's-
Alan Rickman is the
okay.
serious guy who was in Galaxy
No,
Quest
you're
next to
not-
RoboCop. Sounds like a terrible.
No, I
Listen,
got it.
listen.
I got it.
So Alan can be funny. He absolutely can. He was in Galaxy Quest, and he'll be funny in this. RoboCop also has a lot of dark humor. It's not just a sci-fi action movie.
But you're
RoboCop was
I don't mean to
dark
interrupt,
humor.
but I am going to interrupt because you're pitching a RoboCop sequel. That's not a buddy cop.
It
All
is
right.
totally a buddy.
is not a buddy cop.
Look, we can't go back to old original RoboCop and have a new RoboCop
How
movie.
is this not a
this
RoboCop
is a
sequel?
comedy.
But this is a sequel to
a
RoboCop.
comedy.
It's a
Yes.
comedy with people getting tank legs.
It
and,
makes
and
no
things.
sense.
I don't understand how it's a buddy cop movie.
How can that not be?
Roger,
a
I
comedy?
got it. I got
Okay.
it. I got it.
Okay.
Dan, I want to hear more.
You want to hear more about what specifically would you like to hear more about?
You're right. Just I want to hear more. Like the.
Well, listen, I mean, Eddie Murphy, people say that Eddie Murphy lost it. And I don't think that he did. I think that he got a little too involved. I think that he probably didn't team up with the right people, and in the right hands, he's still a good actor, and I think he can still be that comedic personality that he was in the 80s. He just doesn't have the right project. And I think this would be a great avenue to reintroduce the Eddie Murphy that I think he's still capable of being and still can make a fun movie. I like the twist of it. I like that he has to kind of find himself and be the Axel Foley that we know.
I have my answer.
Okay.
And this is the movie I want to see the most. This is me choosing this. Andy, the pairing is interesting. Hannibal Buress is too passive of a guy to be. He's more of like. I don't think he's too I think he's too passive to be. I think he's a fantastic comedian, but he's too passive to be a buddy cop. Also, you did the opposite of the last round. You didn't give me any plot.
You're going to pick one of these two plots?
Yes.
Oh, cool.
You didn't give a plot. It's true.
Yeah.
So
But the question was team up 2 living working actors for the best buddy cop movie. It wasn't.
But you got to describe the buddy cop movie.
True.
So if you're gonna dig me on that, I just want to be clear.
No.
But both of us did, and you didn't.
Right.
But what is the best buddy cop combo?
I know.
Is what I just want to challenge. Which 2 gave you the best combo
I'm getting
as
to
a
that.
buddy cop?
I'm getting to
Great.
that. I'm getting to
Let him
that.
get to it.
That was good, but like all things being equal, Roger, I'm into it. I am into it. But it got too crazy.
Okay.
All right, what I just want to know.
Can we
so I know.
does every decision have to take 5 minutes?
Get to the swerve really late.
Dan won.
I just want to know what.
Dan had the most interesting combo. I like the evolution of Daniel Glover taking over. That was the one I wanted to watch.
Okay, what part?
Fair enough.
Just so I
And
know.
I'm trying to be nice.
Just so I know for the record, what part was too crazy?
Doesn't matter. Move on.
Move on.
I think the drug.
We're too
the fact
too
that you
late.
named a drug.
I'm not asking
All right.
either.
Okay.
Okay, round 5. We got our first look at Johnny Depp in Black Mass, the true story film about Whitey Bulger. True story. Okay, fight 5. What real life person needs a biopic about them? And keep in mind, this is no people with previously released or announced biopics. No La Bambas.
So who's going?
Who goes first, Nick?
Dan.
I'm going first.
I went first a lot, but
I
it's
like
fine.
arguing. I like this judging.
Great.
This was really tough because there are surprisingly a lot of people who haven't had good biopics made of them. I chose one of the titans of cinema that I'm actually surprised hasn't had a picture made about him, which is Orson Welles, because it's the story of what would happen if you peaked at 26 years old. What if at 26 years old you made the best film of all time? And ironically, Orson Welles' story kind of follows the Citizen Kane storyline, which is that he had immense success. He was like one of the most famous people in the country for a while in the 30s and 40s. And then partly through Citizen Kane and the fact that he took on William Randolph Hearst, which they completely buried that movie. That movie was not seen by a lot of people in its time because it was a time when the media could just crush something. That movie was not well regarded. Only later did it come into prominence. And really, he was lost. For the rest of his career, he was completely lost. He's trying to make movies that the studios wouldn't let him make. They were taking his movies and recutting them. He kind of just descended. He went from the greatest filmmaker in the world to the guy doing Frozen Pea commercials and doing voices for a Transformers movie. That was his last role, was his voice in the Transformers movie. So I think it would be interesting to see his story and that just kind of gradual decline. But it is kind of a heartbreaking story because he was a talented guy and he just fell victim in a way to his own hubris and his own excess.
All right, Roger.
Oh, I'm next this time. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know how this
It
is
doesn't.
working.
He's
Okay.
just making it up.
No, that's fine.
I'm doing way better than I thought I would.
They were numbered. Just so
I know.
and you messed up the numbers. And now their numbers are off.
Math, not strong point. Okay, no problem. All right. So I'm going with Christopher Lee, the actor. I think his life has been an amazing story. It's not someone you would normally think of, but his life has been incredible. He's actually Sir Christopher Lee because he was knighted for his services to charity and drama. He served in World War II in the Royal Air Force. He was almost killed twice, once when his airfield was bombed, his squadron's airfield, and once during takeoff when one of the planes ran over one of the bombs. And he also helped track down Nazi war criminals. This was part of his life. He caught malaria 6 times in 1 year. That's insane. He climbed Mount Vesuvius in Italy, which erupted shortly after. He's fluent in English, Italian, French, Spanish, and German. He can also speak proficient Swedish, Russian, and Greek. Amazing. He's played Dracula 9 times, starting with the horror of Dracula back in 1958. And he's well known for all the Hammer horror.
What's like the
films.
theme of it, though, to keep things in
Is
speed?
there anything besides Christopher Lee
point-
facts?
Yeah,
Exactly.
What's the theme of the story?
The whole theme is just like his incredible life. I mean, that
That sounds so
Come
boring.
on.
Sorry.
Hey, let me do my look. Christopher Lee he's appeared in over 200 films and all. It's going to go through all the drama, the rise and fall. I mean, he struggled with some of these horror films that he was like getting typecast and all as well. He won the Spirit of Metal Award in his 90s. And why? Because he's appeared with power metal bands like Rhapsody in album Symphony of the Enchanted Lands 2, The Dark Secret. That's right, Christopher Lee is a 90-year-old who is performing on metal albums. And you got to see this photo.
Should we
of
read
him.
the lyrics?
Yes. Look at this.
we
There's a
play the
photo
whole
of him.
album?
There's a photo of him.
Okay.
It's incredible. He's a
I have it.
90-year-old.
I have it.
He's a 90-year-old doing cooler things than all of us are doing right now, and his life has been amazing.
I don't mean to seem, but it's so unfocused. I have no idea what that
Andy,
movie is.
go. Let me
Go
hear
ahead.
yours.
Blah, blah, blah. Go ahead.
So focused. Like, you need to have focus. And yours is interesting too, but I'll get to mine. To me, these all just, we've seen these boring historical things so long. I want something zany with someone you don't expect. And so I'm picking, hey, Billy Mays here for OxyClean, whatever. Billy Mays, man, is the most fascinating person in the world. You're
just picking someone who looks like you.
Or yeah, but Billy Mays, man, that guy is awesome. Everyone loves that guy, but that guy's had some weird dark stuff going on. This high energetic, awesome family man who I'm gonna go read a little bit, but in the 80s was selling hard, like the Washomatic portable device to trade shows on the boardwalks and state fairs, and he was hanging out with all these old pitchmen back in the day. That sounds like fascinating. I want to learn what that was like. How do you rise up to this thing of being this like crazy salesman into the weird 80s Atlantic City boardwalk, trying to like sell this garbage, this crap that you are marketing? And to me, that's a fascinating story. And then so you have this amazing hard sell energetic guy that is iconic, that everyone loves and knows, but we really get behind the man and behind the energy. But on top of that, what's just crazy is there's clearly like something weird was going on. His family's very upset that there was cocaine found in his blood when he died. Granted, he died of heart disease.
Did they ever watch him?
But I don't know. But all I'm saying is that to me makes me think with proper research from someone like, who I forget what their names, but the guys who did Ed Wood and who are good at that and big guys. Like, you get a really good person to really go tell that story that's not a family member, to really get to the dirty gritty of what he did. And you throw a Coen brothers or someone to really give it a hyperkinetic, zany sort of approach and take. That sounds so fun. I want to learn more, and I want to see how he got to that guy who's like, hey, man, sell me this.
The slap chop guy had a dark history as well,
no one
and
cares
he
about him.
still does. It's like,
It's like,
seriously.
this guy was a good dad. He really was. Like his son is.
My guy fought the Nazis.
My guy made the greatest movie ever made.
Look,
Yours is
your
too
guy.
long.
Your guy.
Where are you focusing? How are you? Where are you? Where I would focus mine on the 80s.
No, he
sort
said
of
where
thing.
you focus.
But where
after he peaked.
No, but you said he's done from that to then he's done Frozen Peak commercials. I want to
Right. Well, it's.
Are you actually focusing on?
I mean,
his later years?
there are biopics that can take on the scope of it. It starts with the Mercury Theater days, which is leading up to Citizen Kane. And then, it takes him down through his decline. It doesn't have to be a 4-hour movie. There have been biopics that can cover a span of 40 or 50 years before.
I just am never a fan of those. I don't think those work as
well.
well. So
You don't have
to be a fan. I
no
agree.
respect, disrespect. I mean, respect.
All right,
but to me, it's like I want a fun, zany, crazy moment in history about a guy that people didn't even think. Well, it's fun. I imagine I can guess what Orson Welles' story. And your guy sounds like a rich, spoiled guy who went around traveling through Europe and doing a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
How else do you get to do all that? I don't know. He's learning all the languages.
Rich spoiled guys
Was he?
join
do you know his education?
Join the armed forces and stuff. And this shouldn't be like this is a 1%er argument now. That's not what this is about.
It's not as
Stop
interesting.
making it political.
Interesting.
I've never
and
looked at OxyClean and said, I wonder what that guy's life was like.
Right, exactly.
I muted it
Same
because
for
he's
Slap
annoying.
Chop. I don't want to watch a movie about a commercial guy. And secondly, for your guy, he peaked, obviously, but we've heard that story as well. I mean, Macaulay Culkin peaked when he was a child.
I would rather see that one than either of these two.
I'd like
the,
to see
the wild card is a more
Are you
interesting
comparing
biopic.
Orson Welles to Macaulay Culkin?
I'm talking about the peak story. I'm not comparing him. Obviously, Orson Welles is a much more established person.
Yes.
Of course.
And he has a much more interesting story. He didn't
Final
just grab
thought.
his face and scream,
Okay, final thoughts. Dan.
Listen, as fascinating as it sounds to hear the dramatization of a guy getting the Spirit of Metal Award in his 90s, Christopher Lee, he's had an interesting life, but your picture, I mean, you just gave a bunch of facts. I still don't know what your movie would be.
I agree.
Billy Mays, I mean, how many people really want to see the story of the OxyClean guy? That doesn't have any appeal to me. I don't care. I don't care about what happened to him. I think it's he died weird, which is going to be a weird... it just seems strange to me. I think Orson Welles is an enigmatic figure. I think that people don't really know a lot about him other than, he made Citizen Kane. They don't know about the decline and about the actual tragedy in his life. I think it's kind of an American tragedy about a guy who had everything and had it all pulled away from him, both through circumstance and through his own personal mistakes. And I think that it's a really, really compelling story.
I don't disagree. I think you can see that on the biography channel or read the book. You can get that history easily. I don't care about those movies personally. I'll play that card out. To me, I want to see a fun movie about something I didn't think. I want to walk away from the Billy Mays documentary going, wow, that guy was a hard worker. What a crazy dude. I didn't know. Like, I can't remember his name, but the Gong Show guy that George Clooney did, or like Ed Wood. Like, I like the zany, weird, odd choice better because it allows for a filmmaker to really do something fun with it and different and go in a place that we learn something. Whereas I feel like I do know enough about Orson Welles. I respect him, and if I want to learn it, I can find those things anywhere. Where can you find this? And I just think that Christopher Lee is just too unfocused. Very interesting guy, but I don't want to see that
it's very easy to make it focused,
Roger,
and I'm happy to give it focused. Sure. Christopher Lee obviously had an incredible life. It's not going to be some just little facts about Christopher Lee. It's going to be about his struggles, in his youth and all. I said he had all this malaria. He went through war. He did all this. It's an uplifting story. His parents died. They got divorced. All these problems that he went through, and he still comes out on top. It's a Rudy kind of story. He goes through all these struggles and comes out on top. And then
Did he play for Notre Dame?
And then he's singing power metal with Notre Dame at the end.
I wish I could look up more of the history of Christopher Lee, but I don't believe
Okay, I got the answer. And I'm sorry, Dan won. He shot you guys down too well. And he was the one who actually gave me a theme and made me feel like there'd be a movie to it. Yours is an Unsolved Mysteries. And I would see that, but there's just no, like, I needed some type of, like, overcoming than a Wikipedia page.
Okay.
I have some cleanup on this. Just to get ahead of the comments, in case anybody wants to call me and Orson Welles as a biopic, it is not a biopic of Orson Welles. It is about the kid Richard.
Right.
Also, Roger, I think you would have won the round if you would have brought up the fact that Christopher Lee, Ian Fleming is his cousin, and Ian Fleming based James Bond.
Yes!
On
Oh my
Christopher
God!
Lee.
That would have been interesting. Finally, that was in the movie.
That was in my facts here, but
Well, why you got to be off? No, we
Focus on
didn't,
one
Roger.
fact.
You can't
You
talk
can't
between.
list 10 facts.
You did 10 minutes
No,
of Christopher Lee
and
facts, and
by
you
the
never
way,
mentioned
by the
it
way,
based on
Your movie
James
should have been-
Bond.
Did you know he was Ian Miller? We're going to focus on that.
By the way, Orson Welles hated Man of Steel, too. No one talked about that.
One last thing, there was already a Billy Mays biopic, but it was a TV movie in 2009.
Which it deserved.
Yeah, and there was also been rumors of a feature film starring Steve Carell. But it's now
and we'll watch that movie more than that one.
But it's been rumored. So, all right.
You
round
weren't
6.
creative enough to visualize it.
You mentioned malaria
That's
6
all I-
times, but not James Bond. I would want.
I don't know. You had it. You didn't even say it.
All right.
I
This is
apparently
for the
didn't
record.
have
It's
it.
not about listing 10. It's about choosing the best one, right?
He had you guys early.
It was a good.
Yeah, no, it was tough.
He's Orson Welles.
Yeah, you would have. If I did that one, you would have picked that one too.
I don't know. I
Yeah.
don't know. I wouldn't have picked Christopher Lee. I know that.
Yeah. Round 6.
You just said I had it.
If you had said, if you had said that,
guys,
then I would have.
Tying into this week's Honest Trailers, which is about a Hulk that doesn't ever meet up with the Avengers. So, Mr. MRO Gauss on Twitter asked, "Can a solo Hulk movie work?" And we're going to go with, I guess, Dan.
Again?
Didn't I start?
No, we'll start with Andy.
One of us.
No,
Definitely
Andy.
not Dan
Let's start with
again.
Andy.
I don't care, but it's definitely not Dan.
Yeah.
Uh,
Counting some stars.
I mean, he can. I don't care. Just
Dad, you cool?
We're being fair.
I'm doing good.
All right.
Can a solo movie, a Hulk solo movie? I'm going to say no.
Okay.
And the reason being, if history has proven anything, it just hasn't worked. It just hasn't worked. They've tried with talented actors, talented directors, and you can't do it. It's a werewolf movie, as Joss Whedon has said himself. And you have either the monster version or you have the hero version. And I think both of those versions work better with an ensemble. You need a team around him so the character that can go crazy is affecting the people around you. And no human characters around the Hulk are going to be able to do anything. So you need people with powers or abilities or something to make that interesting. And I think they finally cracked it, and I don't think you need to do it. And I'm curious what you guys say because I have more facts, but I would want to just throw it out there.
Roger.
Okay, I do think they can do a Hulk solo movie, a standalone one. We've seen the thing is we've seen the Hulk smashing stuff in the real world here on Earth plenty of times, and so is the military getting involved, and it's a tired thing.
Yeah.
It just doesn't work. Yes, I agree. That does not work. So I think we need to go with the Planet Hulk comic book storyline. Planet Hulk is Marvel comic storyline that started in 2006. In it, the Avengers essentially decide that the Hulk is too dangerous to be here on Earth. So they trick him by telling him he needs to go destroy a satellite in space, but they actually send him way further, out of the galaxy. But In it, he actually passes through a wormhole, as I recall, and he ends up on a planet. They wanted him to end up on a peaceful planet so he could just live a good life, but he ends up on this horrible planet where people are enslaved and forced into arena combat. So the planet is called Sakaar, and after the crash, they put an obedience disc on him. So basically, he becomes a gladiator and fights for the amusement of this king on this planet, and he becomes a crowd fan favorite. He battles the Silver Surfer and frees him from being enslaved, and then the Silver Surfer goes on from that. So it's taking the Hulk off of Earth because we know he's not working here in a solo movie, and putting him in a planet where he can actually battle and an interesting storyline. And I'll get to more of the facts about it, but Dan.
Andy and I actually have a very similar argument. I agree. I think they've cracked the formula with the Hulk, which is that he's best as part of a team. Because when you're talking Hulk, and actually your Hulk is one of these, you've got two different Hulks. You've got the Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde Hulk, where you've got the scientist, and then you've got him. And a lot of the time it's...
So you're saying no?
I'm saying no. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm saying no. If it's the Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde version, a lot of the time that Bruce Banner's on screen, you're just sitting there going like, when's the Hulk going to show up? I mean, I think, Incredible Hulk was about as good as I think you could do with a solo Banner Hulk movie. And then you have the Planet Hulk, which is where he's the Hulk all the time. And I just don't think, does your Hulk talk?
Of course. Yeah, I mean, you can't just have Hulk grunting and all. I mean, he talks in the Avengers, puny god.
But he says two words. But that's my problem is...
He talks in the comics plenty.
I know, and that's what I'm saying is, in the comics, that works great because it's a comic book and it's a 10 feet tall green guy talking. I don't think cinematically I don't think you can buy that. I don't think it makes sense to have the 10 feet tall green character with a human voice talking. It just doesn't make sense to me. I don't think it works cinematically.
Hold on, because I think even more so than that not working, yours doesn't have Mark Ruffalo in it. It just has the Hulk brooding around the whole time. He's never Bruce Banner.
That's not necessarily true.
But in Planet Hulk, he's not Bruce Banner.
Okay.
Right? And to me, the best part of what they've cracked about Hulk is that Mark Ruffalo dichotomy. You need to have that character there. Having Hulk brooding on a planet going crazy.
We don't have. First off, you can have Mark Ruffalo in it. We can have him. We're not having to follow the exact comics. I'm just talking about putting him in space like Planet Hulk. First off, and
putting him in space and having him show up with the Guardians of the Galaxy. That I'm into.
Look. You're talking about the Hulk not being able to talk. I mean, that's like saying the Thing in the Fantastic Four that we talked about can't talk. Just because he's a big guy and a monster doesn't mean he can't talk.
Roger, since they're going against you, what's the tone of this movie? Tell me on this movie.
The tone. I mean, it's definitely it's not like this dark, brooding kind of thing. It's still fun like the Avengers would be. It's a big action movie. Hulk is it.
Well, just for a matter of point, Bruce Banner is in Planet Hulk.
Yes.
He does show up a couple of times.
Yeah,
but it's very minor, right?
It is very minor.
Jason, correct me if I'm wrong. Isn't Mark Ruffalo, he does the acting in the Avengers?
Of the motion capture?
Yeah.
Sure.
Off the top of my memory,
yes.
Yes.
From computer animated people.
Yeah. So you're still going to have
Andy
him.
Serkis.
He doesn't get to be a human.
But like Andy Serkis.
Yeah, but I think Mark Ruffalo just should be seen because his Bruce Banner is even better than his Hulk.
Yeah,
I think.
But we're gonna have Mark Ruffalo, absolutely sure. But we still want to see the Hulk. I mean, we've already seen the movie where the Hulk is kind of the minor character and Bruce Banner is the lead one. That's Ang Lee's Hulk, and that just doesn't work. That doesn't work because it's too much of the brooding and dealing with my problems. Oh, I don't want to get angry. Oh, I have such a hard life and all this. We don't need to see that a ton of.
All right,
we're all on board that a Bruce Banner Hulk movie transformation.
15 seconds because I want to move to the bonus.
Well, I just want to point out, Ruffalo doesn't even want this movie. He thinks it doesn't work. To quote him, it's tough. You don't want to watch a guy who doesn't want to do the very thing that you want him to do, which is true. I don't think he himself, who I think is the best Hulk, has said on record that he doesn't think a solo movie is really in the cards or proper. And I think he notices because Hulk finally works now. The only reason we like Hulk is because of the Avengers. The Avengers made him work. Joss Whedon made him work. Joss Whedon has also gone on record saying they shouldn't make a solo movie. Yeah. So the two shepherds of the character who I think have finally cracked it, if they don't believe in it, I don't believe in it.
And I think the stakes of the character are that he's a force of nature, are that even if he's tamed the Hulk, that he can lose control. And I think when you make him a Hulk all the time, he's just another CG character.
Exactly.
I don't think that differentiates him from any other CG character. Exactly. That's what I was thinking. John Carter with Hulk.
Another fun thing about the Planet Hulk film or the comics is after the comic ended, they actually released a special What If issue, which is essentially like the ending of Clue, where they show different endings and all. So they can actually do that in this film if they wanted to do like an extended edition or something fun like that, where it's like, what if the Hulk did end up on a peaceful planet, or what if the Hulk's bride that he takes on the planet in the comics
but that doesn't solve any of the problems with the character, which is just like he's just another
and
generic CG character.
Hulk's not the only character in the movie.
He's a talking CG character.
Mundy talk. This is hard. I like fighting better.
Fighting's tough.
I'm better at it. Roger, you were like so damn close, man. Like I just wanted more of the movie. I just wanted more of it, and then you just kind of agreed with Andy. Andy nailed it. With you had it up until Andy said Mark Ruffalo didn't think a solo movie would work.
So what more of the movie do you want?
I needed like
I have more of the story.
So Andy wins. Can we go
Andy
on?
wins.
We can't argue about every decision for 5 minutes. I'm sorry. The producer in me is coming out a little bit. Nick, I apologize.
You can ask him after the show.
Yes.
All right. Sorry, Roger. I love you.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
So that means that means that Andy is 3 and Dan is 2, and and those two go to the speed round.
Yes.
Roger's going to determine it. I don't think he likes either of us either.
No, he doesn't.
Nope. No.
But hey, Nick, before we go to the speed round, can I say a quick word?
Yes.
Thank you, because I'd once again
three
like to thank our sponsor, Dollar Shave Club. Don't forget, DollarShaveClub.com delivers amazing razors and grooming supplies to your door for just a couple of bucks. Once you get started, your blades arrive like clockwork, so you can treat yourself to a fresh blade shave anytime you want. Now, I don't have a beard, but I got a neck. I got to shave it, and I do, and I'm telling you, Dollar Shave Club, man. Click the annotation or click the link in the description below to get your shave gear from DollarShaveClub.com, the official grooming supplier of movie fights. Yeah, you like this, right? Dollar Shave Club.
All right.
Thanks, Nick.
So, speed round. Now, Roger, you're out, but I'm going to need your help.
Okay.
Jason's going to help me.
I'm also going to ask if Mr. Mundy would help.
Yeah,
Dad
I need some help. Clearly,
Dad
I need
cam.
some help. We're looking for fast, quick answers with short follow-ups. The fastest answer has a better chance of getting the point. If two people have the same answer, the player who said it first gets to argue for that answer. The other player has to argue for a different answer. Is everyone clear?
This is tense.
Yeah.
Is
Funny
everyone
money
clear?
at this
3 to
point.
2. 3 to 2.
Yep.
Money.
All right.
Dan, good fight.
Good fight.
Roger, good fight.
We're going to talk afterwards.
Yeah.
All right.
Another black eye, like I said.
Start that music. Hollywood's best Richard. Go.
Dreyfus.
Pryor.
Okay, Dan, go first.
Richard Dreyfuss has been in some of the best. He's in Close Encounters. He's in Jaws. He's had a long career, a 40, 50-year long career. He's an Oscar winner. I like Richard Pryor. I think he's a funny guy, but I think he's only had a limited amount of movies that he's been in and that he made an impact in, and I think that Dreyfuss has had a bigger impact on movies as a whole.
I think Richard Pryor has had a huge impact on movies, but even bigger impact on comedy. Whoa, turn that down a little bit.
Yeah.
Sorry, can I restart my time? There we
for
go.
it.
That really threw it. Richard Dreyfuss, huge impact on movies, but I think Richard Pryor did too. You're underestimating, but even a bigger impact on comedy, which has affected so many more movies and things, including Beverly Hills Cop. Richard Pryor is that iconic guy. Plus, I really want to see that biopic. I really don't want to see a Richard Dreyfuss biopic.
Oh.
Richard Pryor.
Pryor. Roger, what do you think?
Oh, Jaws. Richard Dreyfuss. He was in Jaws, and he was also in Stand By Me. I just his career. I just have.
But it's about our arguments.
Yep.
No, yeah, no.
So he picked that, okay.
Yeah, I gotta go with Dreyfuss. I gotta go. He just, as far as movies.
You just said Pryor.
No, I said your name was Pryor.
What?
No, I was just re-saying.
He was putting a button on your argument
Yeah.
by saying
Oh.
Pryor.
Yeah, sorry. I'm going with Dreyfuss.
Okay.
Dreyfuss had
so
it.
it doesn't matter what he says. 2 for Dreyfuss. Dreyfuss wins.
Yeah. So you're tied
That
up.
was very confusing. But
I
fair.
apologize.
3 and 3.
I apologize. Okay. What's the worst movie starring Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Ooh, the worst?
Batman and
Junior.
Robin.
What'd
Go.
you
I said Junior.
got it.
Batman and Robin is at least watchable in an entertaining way. Junior, about the pregnant man, it's just so stupid. It's just awful. He's hormonal. It's not how you want to see Arnold Schwarzenegger, and it's kind of the movie that made his career a joke, which led to him being Mr. Freeze in Batman and Robin. At least you can be entertained watching Batman and Robin, at the very least.
No, he did True Lies after Junior. Like, that's not true. But Junior is also a really fun hate watch. Really funny and stupid. Danny DeVito and him are actually good chemistry. Batman and Robin destroyed the Batman franchise. We're talking about the worst movie starring Arnold Schwarzenegger. It's hands down Batman and Robin for doing it's such a huge nuclear bomb on movies in general.
But I'd much rather hear him spout off cheesy one-liners than, oh, my nipples are swollen.
That's funny!
True Lies was actually before Junior.
Yeah, that's what I thought. And I make
But
a choice.
before Batman and Robin.
And then I make a
Yes,
choice.
both
So
of them.
you go to Roger, you go to...
Roger, what do you think?
You gotta give me more time. I really don't even
Jason.
know.
Mr. Mundy,
Uh,
based on their
those are
arguments,
both.
what is
Based
the
on their
worst
arguments.
Schwarzenegger movie?
Junior.
You rather watch? Yeah, I'm gonna go with Junior.
Oh,
They're both
4-3.
awful, but
And then is it to 5 or is it?
We're gonna go to the 9.
Okay,
So
cool.
Dan
But
is
again,
now
I just make
4
sure
to
everyone
3.
clears,
4 to
it's
3.
based on the arguments.
Yep, based on the arguments.
that's why I
Okay,
was having
good,
trouble
good, good,
because
good.
I love
I don't
watching.
dispute.
I love watching Batman and Robin.
You gotta tell me when we have a
Slowest speed
I got
round
you,
of
I
all
got you.
because I don't think it's
Okay, which of these
bad,
two is
but
the
fun.
better disaster movie? Twister or The Day After the Tomorrow?
Twister. It was better, you said? So I guess you said it first then?
Yeah.
Yes.
Ugh, I thought you said worst. Twister or... Yeah, okay, go ahead. I
That's
think you're
the
going to
thing.
win that one, though.
Yeah, I mean, Twister's fun. You got Philip Seymour Hoffman, talking about the suck zone, man. I mean, it's cheesy, but, it's fun. It's a fun movie. You can sit there, you can eat popcorn. Day After Tomorrow, it just kind of takes itself so seriously. They're running away from cold at one point. At least you can run away from a tornado. Twister's way better.
Day After Tomorrow is not better.
All right.
All right, I'm gonna go with Dan on that one.
I wish I heard the question. I 100% Twister.
All right. Best Rocky sequel.
4.
Rocky Balboa.
Andy.
Rocky 4 is great, but it's kind of silly. Rocky Balboa actually brought a lot more of the heart and the drama that Rocky 1 had, that I think really was a kind of an amazing accomplishment of Stallone's point. It put him back on the map. It really did set a new bar, which now I'm excited for Creed. Like, I think Rocky 4 was great, but Rocky Balboa took it to another level.
Rocky Balboa was fine. The plot was set in motion by a video game, which is kind of weird. Rocky 4, it's the U.S. defeating communism. It's got "I must break you." It's got Dolph Lundgren. It's got the best training montage I think of all. It's got several training montages. That's how awesome it is. Yeah, Rocky Balboa is fine, but old Rocky, it's a little depressing.
It's life, man. Life is depressing.
Roger.
Rocky 4. I gotta go with Dan on that.
Mr.
10-year-old.
Mundy.
Based on the argument, Rocky 4.
Rocky 4.
I think he wins, doesn't he?
One more.
Oh.
One more.
I'm actually, you know
Very
what?
sedate movie.
The slowest speed round.
You know what?
Yep.
You
One
know,
more.
It's tough. Oh, so we go to the next round?
One more.
All right, next question. All right.
Wait, I got that point.
No, wait.
Yeah.
Jason's
God.
keeping track.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
okay. Okay.
Jason more on.
All right, I'm going to be very clear.
If Andy gets this next one, we keep going. If Andy
If I
doesn't,
don't, I lose.
Dan
It's
wins.
way too hard. Both of these are on cable. Which do you watch? Max Payne or Major Payne?
Major Payne.
Max Payne.
Major Payne's funny. It was one of Damon Wayans' only funny movies he did. There aren't that many. Max Payne, I can't even remember what the hell happened in that movie. It's the most generic, stupid crap in the world, but Major Payne was funny. It was a stupid, funny Damon Wayans movie.
I mean, they're both awful. I think the only tiebreaker for me is like if I have to listen to one person talk, I'd rather hear Mark Wahlberg. He's got kind of a soothing tone as opposed to the Damon Wayans, whatever voice he was doing in that movie. But God,
It wasn't annoying.
I'd rather do neither. But if I had to choose, Max Payne.
Absolutely. It's a funnier movie, and yeah, it's Mark Wahlberg and Max Payne is awful.
Andy.
Yeah.
Andy with that.
Finally, I said the right one first.
Yeah.
So this is
Andy has to
I have to
get
keep
everyone
winning.
right. He has to get everyone right.
Wait, how
to win.
many
I
questions
don't
have we
know.
done? Isn't
Yeah.
that like
He
5?
sounded like Mark Wahlberg just
How
then.
many questions have we
What's
done?
going
Have we done like
on?
5 already? How many questions? No, seriously, how many
there are
questions have we
9
done?
speed round questions.
There are 9
There are
speed
9
round
speed round
questions?
There's always been 9 speed round questions.
No, there's usually 5.
There's
And
5.
Are we going best of 5 or going best of 9? We're going to argue about the rules live on the
I
show?
don't know.
Are we going to do
We've
that?
only ever asked 5
Let's
speed
let-
round
I'm-
questions.
let
Okay,
trusting
let's keep
Jason's
going.
leading
it's tied up
And-
right now. Tied up, right?
No,
record-
it is 4-6.
Let's keep going.
For the
I guess.
record, don't forget, we've also usually had 7 rounds in the regular.
Please go quick.
regular
Okay,
fight. Today
who would
we
win
only
in a
had 6.
fight?
Hold on, wait.
Who would win in a fight? Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles or the Power Rangers?
Ninja Turtles.
Power Rangers.
Dan.
The Power Rangers have an enormous robot. They can just step on all the Ninja Turtles. That's it.
But the Ninja Turtles would be, like Batman, would be smarter and figure out how to not have them activate that robot, and then those kids are dead. Because they have weapons, and if they could use those weapons, which it doesn't say they can't, they would totally murder the Power Rangers.
Nunchucks against a Power Zord? That's not happening.
But they wouldn't let them turn on the Power Zoid.
Roger.
I gotta go Turtles.
I go definitely with Dan.
Dan.
So you're the tiebreaker.
So you're the tiebreaker, Nick.
Yeah.
I'm going Ninja Turtles.
Oh my God, it's staying long. I'm still in it.
All right. Better love story.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Anakin and Padme or Bella and Edward?
Bella and Edward.
Oh, Anakin and Padme.
Bella and Edward actually inspired a generation of kids, whether we liked it or not. That is going to legitimately be the love story that they talk about. No one ever will use that love story in a positive way.
At least Anakin and Padme gave us Luke Skywalker. Bella and Edward gave us nothing but a reason to throw our televisions through the windows.
George Lucas gave us Luke Skywalker. They did not give us that. That was added after Luke Skywalker.
The only couple worse than Anakin and Padme are Bella and Edward. Literally.
I don't disagree, but the better love story for a generation that's not in this room, it's Twilight.
Nick. I mean, Dan.
Hurry up, Dad.
Jason, you can do it too, you know.
Go ahead, Jason. I'll defer to you.
Dan. Based on the argument, Dan.
That you did not. You were both showed your bias on that last one.
What?
Yeah, 100%.
All right,
that
okay.
Not about the choice. It's about the argument.
All right.
That is the game. That's the game.
That's
the game.
Kudos.
Oh, is that the winner?
That's Dan.
Oh, Dan won.
I think time and bias let that last one. That's the only one in the speedrun I was proud of.
I don't ever want to do this again. This was fun, but thank you very much.
Dan, undefeated.
Thank
I can't
you.
beat. No one can beat it. I'm
No, that don't.
I'm honored to be toe to toe.
I will say, Andy, you did a great job.
No, it was. This is hard. It's hard to not. Everyone's gonna be like, stop arguing. I get Roger. Like it's hard to not get passionate.
Great job.
I brought crazy stuff apparently, but not stuff to win the fight. But Dan, it's been great finally battling you. Andy, it's been awesome battling you as well.
I'm sedate now. I'm just ready to kind of.
I do want to battle you with normal circumstances sometime as well.
I hope I did okay.
Nick, you did great.
Happy birthday, Dan.
Happy birthday.
I never want to do this again. Watch nothing to report.
Did we do all our call-outs? Make sure to subscribe to us on iTunes. Tell us in the comments below which movie fight you'd like to see.
We like DC.
And do our call-outs. Dan Murrell.
Hey, at Murrell Dan on Twitter. Thanks for watching. I hope everyone enjoyed it.
Are you crying?
What? No.
It was a good fight.
It was a good fight.
Roger Barr, i-mockery, yes?
At i-mockery on Twitter. Hit me up on there. Hashtag Grandpa Metal. Christopher Lee, Grandpa Metal. Yeah.
And thanks for having me, Nick.
Hey, of course.
It's so great to be here. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Andy Signore.
Yeah, and I'm Dick Fundy, and check out Nothing Report. And thanks for having me.
What about your dad? What about your dad?
Oh, yeah. And here, thanks, Jason, on DanCam, and thanks, Dad, on DadCam.
How'd your son do?
He did pretty good.
You want to go Lowe's or Home
Can't
Depot?
follow an instruction worth of shit.
Yeah.
But
You want to go Lowe's or Home Depot after this?
either one, Nick.
All right.
They're not sponsors.
So what? I just got to know, what's it like being the parent of the Antichrist?
Whoa.
What?
Whoa.
What a way to go out.
So bad.
It's not so bad.
Not so bad. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Yeah,
Thank you, Nick.
Thank you, guys.
Good job, Nick. Good job.
We love DC.
Every podcast we put on YouTube comes with this kick-ass graphic listing all the topics your favorite Screen Junkies podcasters are talking about. If you click the topics, you can skip around and choose your own podcast battle royale. Go ahead, try them all. If you haven't already, subscribe to Screen Junkies on YouTube to join us for future fights. Or if you prefer to listen on iTunes, click the logo to download an audio version.